Fire and the Hound, Chapter 5, The Song of the Hound. The thaw came with thunder. Snow turned to the rivers to mud. Forest woke up from its long sleep, dripping and alive again. Green tips pushed through the gray. The air smelled of earth and rain. But in the middle of all that new life, one of the hunters lay dying. His name was Marn. He was the youngest of Aru's men. He had fallen during the elk chase. Pierced by a broken horn, the wound festered. No herbs helped. No chance eased the fever. He slipped away at dawn, his breath rattling his chest until it didn't anymore. The tribe gathered under a sky heavy with clouds. They had no word for death yet, only gestures and silence. Roke sat near the body, tail still, eyes fixed. He didn't understand human weeping, but he knew what it meant to lose one of your own. The scent was the same across all creatures. Sorrow and finality. Aru knelt beside the dead man and touched his forehead. Then he looked to Roke. The wolf stood, walked forward, and laid down beside the body. No one had called him in. No one had taught him this. He simply knew. When the fire was lit and the tribe began to mourn their chant, low and rhythmic, the first music born of grief, Roke lifted his head and howled. It wasn't the sound of wild hunger or a pack call. It was something new, a sound that rose out of loss and became a bridge between two worlds. The tribe fell silent. The fire snapped and spat. The howl went on, deep and long, wrapping around the valley until it touched every tree, every stone. Even the ravens stilled on their branches. Aru closed his eyes and felt the sound inside his chest, not as a noise but as a truth. When the howl ended, Roke stood and pressed his head against the man's arm one last time. He stepped back into the shadows. That night no one slept. The storm came, washing away the footprints, the blood, the fire ash. But in the morning, the tribe found something strange. The wolf had returned. He had dragged branches and brush along with the place Marn had fallen, covering the scent of death. Aru stared at the mound, rough, clumsy, but deliberate. He understood. That day the humans did the same for their dead, covering a body with stone and earth, and making the place fire-blackened wood. A ritual had begun. And when the last ember cooled, Aru raised his hands toward the forest and said quietly, "Roke." And from far away an answering howl rose, the same voice, carrying through the rain. The tribe moved on, but the sound followed them for generations. Children were taught. When the fire crackled, Roke watched from the dark, guarding them still. And when a hunter died, his brother would call into the night, not to the gods, not to the stars, but to the first friend man ever had. The howl was not a warning anymore. It was a remembrance. It was a prayer.